Now, another way we can sample is something called stratified sampling. If you look at the image at right, what would you say a strata is? Well, here's one strata, another, another, and another. You can see that each of my groupings are alike. They share something in common. So strata are groups or classes in a population that share a common characteristic. In high school, that would frequently be by grade level because freshmen and seniors tend to be slightly different creatures. Trust me, seniors do not want to be confused with freshmen, or sophomores with freshmen, or juniors with sophomores for that matter. Another way you can do strata is ethnicity. So if you're concerned about, minorities, you can also do it by socioeconomic if you're worried about income level. So there are different things that you can look at and group people based on strata. Sometimes certain strata don't make sense. For example, in the summer program that I'm teaching, I have kids from Austin AISD, Round Rock AISD, Leander, etc. I could separate them by school district, but that wouldn't really be as meaningful because there's no reason to think that an Austin kid is that different from a Round Rock kid or a Leander kid. So that sometimes strata makes sense, especially for grade levels, things that would create common characteristics in the group. So how do we set up a stratified sample? Well, if you look at the picture at right, these are the steps for doing a stratified sample. How does this picture look different from my other pictures with the hats in them? Hopefully you notice there's more than one hat here. It's like I'm doing a simple random sample in each strata. Each strata gets its own hat, all right? Each strata gets its own simple random sample. So we set up a hat for each strata. In each hat, we're going to put not the strata, but the individuals. So we could do the freshman hat and the sophomore hat. So the freshmen go in the freshman hat, sophomores go in the sophomore hat. And after we do that, mix it well. Draw until you get the sample you want for that strata. Ignore repeats as always. And after you get the individuals from each strata, go ahead and survey everyone that you pulled from the different hats. In this example, we have a hotel with 8 floors and 30 rooms on each floor. Has 96 rooms facing the ocean and another 48 with a partial ocean view and 36 facing inland. Room numbers have the first digit from the floor number and the next 2 digits range from 1 to 30 for each floor. Rooms facing the ocean cost the most, partial ocean views the next, and inland rooms the least. What strata could you use? Well, I could go by floor number, right? But is there really a difference between a person who gets a hotel room on a second floor and a third floor? Not really, all right? Probably if I wanted to group like minded hotel stayers, I would put the people who are willing to pay a little extra for an ocean view in one group, and the people who want to save their money and have the inland view in another group. And of course, the partial view would be the compromisers, they'd be in the middle group. So don't use the floors because there's no difference there. Use the room view type, all right? How could you draw a stratified sample? Well, I would have set up a hat for each view type. Ocean hat, a partial hat, and an inland hat. Then I would put I wouldn't worry too much about this first digit from the floor. I would just basically take all the floor numbers, all the hotel room numbers, and put them in the appropriate hat if they have an ocean view, inland, partial view, or inland view. Mix for each strata for the ocean hat, mix it well. And then I would draw room numbers without replacement till I got the desired sample size because I want to ignore repeats. Then I would also draw samples from the partial hat and the inland hat. Now, if I was drawing samples from these, one thing to keep in mind would, let's say I wanted 20, all right? If I wanted 20 rooms for my sample, how would I draw it from the different strata? Well, you could say, well, let me roughly divide by a third. I would get, say, 7 with the ocean view, 7 with the inland view, and 6 with the partial view. Well, that might be okay, but I don't have an equal number of rooms of each type. There are actually different proportions. So one thing I could do is look at the percentage of the population that I want to sample. All right. So 240 total rooms. I want 20. So I roughly need 1/12 of the total sample size. All right. Um, little over 8% in case you're interested. So I would take 1/12 of the ocean views and I'd sample 8 rooms. 1/12 of the partial, which is 4, and then 1/12 of the inland and sample 8 rooms there. This strategy is called proportional allocation.